I had a ton of fun making my first Smash Ultimate DLC video, so I'm coming back again for round 2. 6 more fighters I'd love to see added in the future. Same rules apply as last time. Game characters only, assist trophies are fine by me, and no troll picks. With all that out of the way, let's kick things off with number 6. You knew who it was the second you saw the blocky shape of his body. Of course, I'm talking about Steve from Minecraft. The idea of Steve being in Smash has always been insane to me. He's one of the most easily recognizable video game characters worldwide, but Steve himself, as an entity, has no personality whatsoever. When we look at the roster of Smash Ultimate, there's no shortage of fighters bursting at the seams with charisma, features, and attributes that make them easier to identify with. Through his mannerisms and actions, we know Wario is a rude, arrogant, self-absorbed, hostile son of a poopy head. This goes the same for characters with a more wholesome identity. Isabelle is kind, caring, and sweet, always eager to lend a helping hand, but also shy and a bit clumsy. Tiring to be around at times, but she means well. She just wants everyone to be happy. But with Steve, it's an entirely different story. Steve has none of these traits, good or bad, which makes his high demand to be included in Smash all that more bizarre to me. He's simply the vessel of which you control, in the best-selling game of all time. Despite not having his own identity, Steve has made memories for hundreds of millions of gamers. There aren't many gaming icons that can say the same. When I take into account the amount of people that Steve's made happy, suddenly his inclusion in Smash doesn't sound all that weird. I'll admit, I still view Steve as a very meme-heavy troll choice, but when I think about the possibilities for his moveset, things get a lot more interesting. There's so many fun and creative attacks Steve could have. A bow and arrow projectile, sword slashes, dumping buckets of lava. The usage of common items could make up for his entire moveset. YouTube user paperkitty uploaded a video of their fan-made moveset for Steve if he were to be put in Smash. It's absolutely awesome and complements him so perfectly. I highly recommend giving this video a watch if you're at all interested in the idea of Steve being in Smash. Hopefully with all the fan admiration and hype surrounding him, one day he'll be able to join the Smash family. Knock on wood.
Puppy. Hello, puppy. Puppy.
Many of the characters added to Smash I didn't know I wanted until I subsequently got around to playing them. The ones I feel make the biggest impact are the ones that fill a void, so to say. It makes their role in Smash more important and helps them stand out from the crowd. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to be an Echo Fighter. I didn't have the faintest clue I wanted to play as a dog who could kick explosives at people or a toy robot from the 1980s. But Nintendo knew. Nintendo knew this whole time. My next pick brings a breath of fresh air to Smash. Tetra, from the Zelda series. A bit of a random choice, I'm aware, but Tetra's inclusion would fill a few niche roles not yet fully explored within the current roster. The most important of which being a bold female role. Aside from Samus/Zero Suit Samus, there's a distinct lack of badass female characters. Zelda, Rosalina, and Palutena aren't your stereotypical damsel in distress characters, kinda, but they don't strike fear in you like Samus and Tetra do. The moment I saw Tetra, I knew she wasn't someone to be taken lightly. She commands respect and authority, not with egregious actions or loud words, but with a methodical, calculated mind. She believes actions speak louder than words, but also knows that violence doesn't solve everything. Since she is a pirate, we can use it as her base and sort of build off that. Lots of swipe attacks with her dagger, and also some familiar items from Wind Waker like the Deku Leaf and Skull Hammer. Maybe find a way to include her crew members too. At her core, I envision Tetra being a slightly more nimble but less damaging variant of Toon Link. I absolutely demand that her final smash be the catapult and launch people into the Forsaken Fortress. I'd go nuts for that so much, it'd give me the biggest shit-eating grin, and I would absolutely love every second of it. If I was able to truly have things my way, I would have had Snotboy Zill in as soon as possible, but this isn't Burger King, and I don't get things my way. I'm just gonna say it. Anyone who said they wanted Captain Toad in Smash is a goofus. What is wrong with you guys? You guys want to play as a character who can't even jump? You just want to see this poor dude suffer, don't you? The correct choice instead of Captain Toad is Toad. Yes, our mushroom-shaped pal has been in Peach's dress long enough. It's finally time for him to get a spot on the roster in Smash. Despite having the charm of a mosquito bite that never goes away, I think it's safe to say that everyone has a soft spot for Toad. I mean, how can't you help but love the sound of his nails on a chalkboard voice? Outside the essential cast of obvious Mario characters, I'm looking at you, Waluigi, I'd argue that Toad deserves to be added the most, unless you prefer like Birdo or Petey Piranha, but those are arguments for another time. I'd like to see Toad have a very speed-based moveset. The closest thing I can compare to off the top of my head is a slightly heavier and harder hitting Pichu in terms of all-around playability. With Toad being included in almost every one of Mario's adventures, there's a variety of attacks we can give him. Super Mario Bros, Mario Party, Mario Kart, pretty much any game that has the word Mario in it. There's plenty of good videos when it comes to potential Smash Bros movesets for Toad. YouTube user King Bob Gaming, nice name by the way, has a few video uploads on his take on Toad and Project M. A mod of Super Smash Bros Brawl which attempts to emulate the gameplay of Super Smash Bros Melee. I dare say the attacks shown in these videos are near perfect. I'm not entirely sure if Nintendo themselves could come up with a moveset that encapsulates Toad as well as this one does. Every aspect of his moveset is a subtle callback to Toad from previous years. My favorite being the go-kart side B and a propeller suit recovery straight from New Super Mario Bros. If Nintendo does decide to put Toad in, a very, very small sinister part of me really wishes his recovery is him parachuting with his hat, because when I saw that for the first time ever, it certainly ruined my life, so why not go ahead and ruin everybody else's too. Toad with no hat isn't as bad as Mario with no mustache though. Look how hideous he is. Oh my man, Mega Man. What a wild journey you've been through. One of the earliest gaming legends to be created by a passionate fan base, he's seen his fair share of ups and downs. Lead role in some of the most blood-boiling, teeth-gritting, infuriatingly difficult games on the original Nintendo. Years later, we had some more good titles as well, with the rollout of the Mega Man X series. Over the course of times, there were some bumps along the way, but things seem to be back on track now. One Mega Man series I notice often ignored but always adored is Mega Man Battle Network. I can count on one hand the amount of series that have spawned a successful line of side games, or even an anime for that matter. Battle Network holds close all the strong fundamentals you'd want to see in a solid RPG game. A plot that matters, characters that help unravel the story, and gameplay that provides both experimentation and challenge. Mega Man's spin on the typical RPG formula was unique at the time, with grid-based movement, real-time, and card-based, well, chip-based combat. These mechanics were, and still, often geared towards a more hardcore, old-school audience. Battle Network was able to make these accessible and fun for a younger audience, which is way more than I can give it credit for. Going back to it now, it's just as fun as it was when I was a kid, if not more. That's why my number 3 pick is Lan from Mega Man Battle Network. His moveset would be ultra gimmicky, but faithful to the roots of which he came from. Turret, bomb, and sword attacks. Lan wouldn't be complete without his trademark rollerblades. Taking all of this into account, Lan could be a real issue to deal with. Speed mixed with viable, close, and long-distance combat options. Adding Lan before Zero, Proto Man, or Enter Name Here Man would be a bit weird, almost sacrilegious. But if Nintendo wants to add a generic run-of-the-mill Mario enemy before they add Waluigi, I'd say anything is possible. One bizarre trend in Super Smash Bros. Are the heavy characters being villains. Unintentional, I'm sure, but this doesn't change the truth. Let's get a good boy heavy, shall we? The first name that comes to mind, and I hope everybody else's mind, is Big the Cat from the Sonic Adventure series. Big has a loyal, passionate following that's lasted for decades. Yes, literally multiple decades. That feels so surreal to say. It's a shame he's always been a minor side character at best and hasn't ever had his chance to shine. He's always got the brown end of the stick, if you know what I mean. But he doesn't care, he's just going with the flow, man. He's the village idiot, but he's the lovable village idiot. He's got his fishing pole, his best pal Froggy, and a belt that holds up nothing. He's great. Referencing another Smash Bros mod if I may, this time we're taking a look at Sonic Duel. Another mod of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but with a roster of Sonic and Sega characters. A genuine love letter for fans of Sonic, every character and level stands out so much it almost doesn't feel like a mod at all. Some characters are subtle clones of official ones, but for the most part this mod does a great job of not feeling like a slightly altered copy-paste version of Brawl. When Big the Cat's in action, he uses his fishing pole, Froggy, umbrella, and that's about it. Pretty much all we need anyway. Outside of these, there's nothing that really has to be there. The fishing pole aids him with some solid range without feeling broken. Could you imagine this purple behemoth coming at you with a homing attack? A man can only dream. If there's one line of games I'm terrible at, it's Punch-Out. It took me multiple tries to get past Glass Joe on the NES. Take that in. Multiple tries to get past Glass Joe. I'm what you call a real gamer. Aside from Little Mac and Mike Tyson himself, the character everyone has fond and not so fond memories of is the human blimp himself, King Hippo. You know you're dealing with a gigantic specimen when their height and weight aren't measured with numbers, but question marks. Look how huge he is compared to Little Mac, who isn't even that short, by the way, standing at 5'7". So I'm gonna guess based on this that King Hippo is about 8 feet 13 inches and around 918 pounds. Yeah, that sounds about right. He has two loves, food and fighting. The psyche of King Hippo is about as complex as a one-color Rubik's Cube. He thinks he's the king of everything, but lacks any sort of self-awareness. I think his style in Smash Bros. Should reflect this to a T. I want him to be the heaviest and hardest hitting character in all of Smash. I want King Hippo to barely be mobile, walk like he's an anchor in quicksand, and jump like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. I want every attack to be powerful, shockingly powerful, but slow just to balance them out. A moveset consisted of entirely punches just like Little Mac, but with every punch posing a genuine threat. For the cherry on top of this Dirt Sundae, I want an up B that's not even a recovery. Make it a reflect or counter move that 90% of the current roster has. King Hippo would almost play like a tank, stationary but strong. I want his shticks and quirks to be played full force to the hilt. Really make him feel not only different from everyone else, but truly one of a kind. Emphasize his strengths and weaknesses so much to the point where it's almost laughable, for better and for worse. Whenever I play as Little Mac, I always feel as a disadvantage. He's borderline useless in the air, but an absolute killer on the ground. I can use Little Mac as an insult for winning and an excuse for losing. As far as Smash goes, he's the very definition of a double-edged sword. The same can easily be done for King Hippo. He has things he's good at and things he's bad at as well. Playing him would always be a gamble regardless of how skilled or proficient you are with him, because he possesses the highest highs and the lowest lows. 50% troll, 50% power, 100% King Hippo. Welcome one, welcome all to everyone's favorite part of any YouTube video, the end slate. A couple videos on the side you guys may enjoy checking out if you're new here, especially the first Smash Ultimate DLC video I did. All the videos and channels I mentioned will be linked in the description for you guys to check out. Give those channels a watch, by the way. They're pretty cool and have some decent Smash concept stuff uploaded to them. Definitely worth a few hours of your day. Outside of that, I guess I should say, like, comment, subscribe, and all that other stuff the 20 million other YouTubers do. But, yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys soon again. See ya.